Last night, I met the most incredible girl.
So sexy the way she held her cigarette.
Her clothes reeked of tobacco. Her fingernails were kind of yellow. Later, we kissed. It was like licking an ashtray. And then she whispered the sweetest thing in my ear. I think I'm in love.
I smoke to look mature.
It helps to fill a void in other parts of my life.
It's something to do at the bar.
It's become so normalized. Everybody does it.
It's an icebreaker.
It's sexy.
It's a way to deal with stress.
I only smoke when I drink.
I don't want to miss anything when everyone else is out smoking.
I need something to do on a break.
I don't want to gain weight.
Peer pressure.
Gives me courage and mental strength.
It's a social prop.
It's a social lubricant.
Gives me a buzz.
It's butch.
Helps me to relax.
Mom and Dad did it.
Smoking helps me feel like I belong.
Looks like it feels good.
I don't want to gain weight.
Peer pressure.
Gives me courage.
It's sexy.
Helps me to relax.
It's an icebreaker.
Mom and Dad did it. It's a social prop.
It's a social lubricant.
Gives me a buzz.
It's something to do at the
It feels
bar.
good.
I don't want to miss
Way
anything.
to deal with stress.
Everybody does it.
Let's look at the big picture. In that globe that we're on, 5 million tobacco-related deaths a year. And in terms of people who are currently smoking worldwide, 1 billion men are smoking cigarettes right now. Who knows what percentage of cigarettes are smoked by people in the United States? Just take a wild guess. So of all the smoking that's going on today in this 24-hour period, what percent of the cigarettes are being smoked in the United States? It's actually only 4%. 96% of the cigarettes are being smoked in, I think like 90% are being smoked in Jordan and Vietnam, actually. No, but there are some very, very high smoking rates in certain countries, but you know, it's a big world. We tend in this country to be very U.S.-centric. And yet it's a big world, so we have to keep in mind that we're not just talking about Colorado or just our community or just the LGBT community, but it's everything, including those animals and so forth who are affected as well, and the environment. Now in the United States, this is an amazing statistic, and the source is the Centers for Disease Control on this statistic, the CDC. So I believe it. Tobacco kills more people than all of these things combined. Suicides, homicides, alcohol, auto accidents, drug use, and HIV combined. So in the United States, the number is 450,000 people a year. For comparison purposes, that is a crisis. We had a horrible tragedy and crisis on 9/11, where about 3,000 people were killed, and that's horrible in its own right, and I don't mean to make disparagement or comparisons about one tragedy to another. But do the math, it's 150 Twin Towers a year in the U.S. That's worth our being here today, if nothing else. So thank you for participating in this.
There's a big debate about smoking in restaurants and bars. Some people argue that separate sections and filtration are enough to keep non-smokers safe from the harmful effects of secondhand smoke. It would be like having separate sections in a pool, peeing and non-peeing. Would you feel safe jumping in? Pretty disgusting. But so are heart and lung diseases caused by secondhand smoke. This is not against personal rights. It's for public health. Show your support to regulate smoking in public places.
LGBT smoking rates for 100. True or false, the percentage of non-smokers in California is 86%. That's true. Better be true. LGBT smoking rates for 200. The rate of smoking among men in the general population in California is 17%. Is the next statement true or false? The rate of smoking among gay men is 25% higher. No, it's false. This was a trick question. The rate of smoking among gay men in California is 50% higher. It's 27.4%, so that's 50% higher than men in the general population. Okay, so we learned something. Next question, LGBT smoking rates for 300. How about, this is another fact first before the question. The rate of smoking among women in the general population in California is 11%. That's a really great figure. Is the next statement true or false? So that's general women, 11%. Now, true or false? The rate of smoking among lesbians is double. False. The rate of smoking among lesbians is triple the rate of women. It's 32.5%. And this is according to a very extensive study by the state of California, random digital telephone study by the field poll people on par with Harris. I mean, I want to say that there are some problems with these studies because what is a lesbian? You know, honestly, how do you define it? Behavior, identity. Okay, honestly, so these numbers, remember the government doesn't even ask sexual orientation. Some of us may not want that, but I mean, it's helpful to have these information the government won't ask. So it's going to take years till we figure out like how to ask these questions. But I have to say this was a really well done study. It cost almost $1 million, right, to do that. And the state of California took it very seriously. LGBT smoking rates for 400. The rate of smoking for 18 to 24-year-olds in California is 18%. That's a pretty low figure as far as 18 to 24-year-olds go. 18%, that's for all of them. Within 5 percentage points, please. What is the rate of smoking of the same age range, 18 to 24, who identify as queer or LGBT? 44% of queer youth are smoking. This is terrible. I'm happy you got the question right. I'm glad we have these figures to talk about. This is alarming. Absolutely alarming question. There's so much, you know, that suffering we were talking about in our families, in our extended queer families, we're going to see so much suffering later. And we've got to keep working on this.
If you're a tobacco executive,
seeing someone lying here
shouldn't make you uncomfortable.
It's what you do.
You make an addictive product that puts 1,200 of your customers here every day.
Every day.
So you target someone like me.
Someone like me.
Someone like me as a replacement.
To you, seeing this isn't uncomfortable at all.
It says business is good.
But what if you can't find someone like me as a replacement? Now that probably makes you uncomfortable.